Thank you so much for staying with us on the program as Politics Today right here on Channels Television, and we're dissecting the president's speech. That's the first half of the program. On the other leg is we're looking at the performance of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. Mr. Akin Osuntokun, former presidential aide to former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and a political analyst, Mr. Kayode Ogundamisi, have been talking to us on the program. Let me quickly go to Abuja, where Mr. Osuntokun has been standing by. As it stands now, one will look at the promises of the APC and the Buhari government before they came into power, and now what is obtainable. We saw as part of the speech of the president talking about what the government meant on the ground and what has been the clog in the wheels of a swift progress that they envisage. But now, as it stands, the reality is staring everyone in the face. The issues of the dwindling oil price, the issues of security in the Niger Delta, the issue of security in some parts of the North Central region are those issues on the table right now. But has the president shown capacity to handling this plethora of issues, especially that of the economy, since assuming office a year ago?
Well, Sean, again, I could only pick a few words from what you said, but let me try and summarize it before I comment. I think that the gap between the soapbox campaign and the reality of governance. Any party outside of power that is campaigning to go into office is always an ideal government because it has not done anything. You know, there is no measure or parameter from. So that is what is happening. You know, the gap between not being in office and the reality of office. And the reality, as usual, is usually more challenging, more complex and sophisticated than what people promise. Now, when people talk of change in Nigeria, look at the imagery that the president himself used, reconstructing the spine. Now, if you want to apply that logically and rationally to Nigeria, what you are saying about is restructuring. You cannot, and the idea of logically reconciling rhetorics and reality. There was a time the president was talking about reflecting the economy, trying to stimulate the economy to get it out of recession. And the way you can do that was the rational, the way the bailout of the states to enable them pay their salary. That was how it was rationalized. Now, that in itself, the same government has a budget and it is highlighting it as one of its achievements that, okay, now you are going to have 30%, 70% to 30% ratio in terms of recurrent to capital expenditure. Now, this does not gel. It doesn't. Then again, there are some things that happen that really it is difficult to explain. For instance, having 3 ministries, which are in emergency situations, highly crisis-prone, that requires the attention of almost everybody in government on a 24-hour basis. The Ministry of Power, Works, and Housing. You give it to one minister, consolidate it to one ministry. Really, I've been trying to ask people, what is the rationale behind this? The Minister of Power has only one mind. Can you be thinking about the problems of power and at the same time thinking about the problems of works or housing at the same time? And now, even if you take all other things, conditions are there or equal, it still doesn't make. I don't see how a person, let me give you an instance. Suppose you have a collapse of the national grid in the power sector. The minister for that day, will he have any mind to think of any other thing other than that? So these are the kind of things that there are some self-created difficulties that it is not,
All right, let's quickly.
I would want, or most Nigerians would want to.
Let's allow Mr. Ogundamisi to wade into the matter. We look at the assessment of President Buhari's government, what they've done and what they probably are going to do or are planning to do. But again, as it stands, as the president shown capacity in delivering on the promises made by the party, APC, when they came, when they were campaigning, and again with the issues on the ground.
I think, Chairman, the right question you would have to ask is if the president is aware of the promises made by his political party, because the promises that were advertised by the political party seems to have been thrown in the bin. The president does not seem to be on the same page with the political party. So when you're actually asking for the promises delivered, you tend to ask yourself, did he say he was going to pay unemployed people 5,000 naira a month? Did he say he was going to declare his assets publicly? Detailed declaration of assets, not just say, I have 3 houses. How much are those houses? Did he say he was going to cut down on the number of presidential jets? Is he spending less money on feeding people in Nassau Rock compared to the last government? So I think the president would need to have not gone far enough in showing that exemplary leadership that we know him for. Is it in terms of the budget that we're talking about, the padded budget? And I think they can go a bit much more than what they are doing now. And I think those who are friends of the government, people like us who are friends of the government, they continue to sleep on the government that things can be better than they are now.
All right,
so I don't think it makes up to our expectation so far.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ogundamisi. Well, quickly, just before we go now, we asked Nigerians to vote and rate President Muhammadu Buhari and some of those things that they say. Look at it on the screen right there. Just on the right-hand side of your screen is how they rated him, some of those who rated him poorly, in purple, and in the middle there in sort of an amber color is those who rated him average, and in blue is those who rated him good. Just slightly over 1,400 people rated him good, and just about 500 people rated him average, and about 1,300 people rated him poor. And so that's been the mixed bag of rating that we've gotten for the President Muhammadu Buhari's 1 year in office. And that's how far we'll go on the program. Many thanks to my guest, Mr. Kayode Ogundamisi, a political analyst talking to us from Edinburgh in Scotland, and Mr. Akin Osuntokun, a former presidential aide to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Many thanks for taking time out to talk to us. That's our program tonight. Many thanks for being such a great company wherever you're watching us. I'm Sean Kimbale. Bye for now.